Good evening, everybody. My name is Rodney Sorrell. I am the proprietor of RS Photography LLC located in Beckley, West Virginia. Today, we'll be doing an interview with a good friend of mine, Miss Kabrea James, who is a local artist and the leader of a youth arts initiative in the city. Miss Kabrea James, how are you today?
I'm great. Thank you for having
Doing good,
me.
doing good. I
Yes,
appreciate you taking the time to sit down with your boy
absolutely.
and talk about what is Inner Sunshine Arts.
Absolutely. I'm happy to be here.
Absolutely. Okay, so before we get into it, just let the people know a little bit about yourself and how Inner Sunshine Arts came to be.
Absolutely. Well, first of all, I am a self taught artist. I've always been someone that enjoyed not only painting alone, but painting with others and sharing that fellowship and being creative with others. So I noticed both that desire to want to fellowship and do art with others, plus the fact that there was a lack of positive recreation in our area and
Yeah,
also just a lack of access to the arts for certain disadvantaged neighborhoods. So I wanted to roll all that together and I came up with Inner Sunshine Arts, and it's been such a pleasure all the way through.
awesome. So let me ask you, what do you think, or where do you think that the I don't want to call it the disinterest, but the lack of interest in the arts, where do you think that comes from? Do you think it's because we're in a rural area, or is it something else?
I think it's a lack of encouragement, a lack of youth being pushed to pursue those paths, maybe making it to where they don't feel like pursuing those artistic interests are even an option for them.
Uh-huh.
That can be just due to financial pressures of parents feeling like, oh, well, you need to go on and pursue something else. And maybe them feeling like that's just not a viable option. Even if they are talented, they may not even have anybody in their ear that's saying, hey, you're really good at this. You should do more of this.
Yeah.
So I think that can be sometimes a
Yeah.
factor.
Do you think that the traditional Appalachian viewpoint on life affects that? Whereas, being from a rural area is kind of like this is how we do things. It's been done for this amount of years, and rural people really don't like to break away from
Yeah.
that kind of pattern. Um, so, what do you think about that?
Absolutely. I think the narrative here can be, oh, you need to be so hardworking and, be out doing like physical labor, which is fine. And I respect that as well. I
Right.
respect those industries as well. But it's almost as though like being in the arts is not as respected or not seen as a credible career path or a thing you should spend your time doing. Like there's
Yeah.
so many other things you should be doing that are more productive.
There's a more serious
More
outlook on
serious
life. Yeah.
things, yeah. But the arts can definitely be used to not only have be there as like a creative outlet for people, but it can also be a way to get across certain messaging and things you want to stand up for as well. So
Certainly.
it
Yeah.
can be more serious as well if it needs to be.
Okay. Okay. How do you see your work contributing to cultural preservation or visibility in our community?
Absolutely. I always try to incorporate black figures in my work, particularly black women, just because I've had such enriching experiences with them in my own life.
Yeah.
But I see that there is a bit of a crisis where we're losing so many of our valuable elders throughout our communities that were, in the past, they were the ones that passed down the stories and kept everybody up to date. And
Right.
it's almost like, well, who's going to do it now? So I try to tell as many of my own personal Affrilachian stories through my work as I can and encourage other Affrilachian artists to do the same.
Yeah. Now, the term Affrilachia, for those who don't understand, what does that mean to you?
To me, it is me acknowledging that not only am I having an Appalachian experience, but I'm also experiencing that as an African American person, woman in this case. So it is, yeah, we do have these shared Appalachian roots, but I see it a little different through my lens because I'm not having that same experience. I do have the African American aspect of it too. So
Yeah. Yeah. So you mentioned that you had deep roots growing up around, strong black women. How was that experience for you, and what did you take from that you incorporate into your art today?
oh man, I just go right to my mentors and just how much love they show me. I was actually reflecting on that today, just how blessed I am
Yeah.
for some of the black women that found me and encouraged me and kept me uplifted and also provided me with resources to be like,
Yeah.
yeah, I see you, I hear you, but also here you go, here's something to keep you going. So I try to, in the same way they broke down a lot of barriers for me, I try to break those down for the new generation coming up so they won't have as many obstacles in
Yeah.
trying to get where they want to go.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's major in our culture. The matriarch of the family, as you mentioned. Once the matriarch, is gone, then things start to kind of fall apart, and we've seen that time and time again in our community. So, what kind of response have you gotten from Appalachian communities?
Oh, out of this world. Like I
Yeah.
said, when I first put it out there that I needed art supplies to even get Inner Sunshine Arts off the ground, there was an overwhelming response. I had more materials than I knew what to do with. Even to this
Yeah.
day, like there's not been one instance where I've been like, oh, I don't really have the materials I need to go do this programming. Like there's
Yeah.
always been some fund of materials for me to pull from,
Yeah.
or just always somebody with an encouraging word, or they might have a space I can use.
Yeah.
It's been amazing.
And you just hit the ground running. Like, has this been going on for over a year yet?
This is really our first year. That's where it gets a little bit overwhelming for me to grasp because it was still in like the seed process
Yeah.
last spring. So it's like, how do we get here? And it definitely goes back to, like I said, that overwhelming support and just seeing the kids take to this programming. And
Yeah.
I think that has a lot to do with the fact that it's been free. It's been free art program. Never had to charge a child for anything. Nothing they took home they had to pay for. It's
Yeah.
literally me just showing them, saying, "Here, I want to enjoy arts with you. Here, enjoy."
That's
And
beautiful.
I think that's why the response has been so great.
Good. Good. How do history and personal memory show up in your creative process?
Um, I always have to mention my mom passing because she was there at the very start of me painting, which I'm still a new artist. I've just started
Yeah.
painting in 2017.
Oh, really?
And
And you doing work like this?
I appreciate it. I appreciate it. But yeah, I've always been creative, but I never specifically got into painting.
Yeah.
And my mom, on kind of her last months of life, she was able to see me get into painting, and she encouraged me. She liked a couple of the pieces that I worked on, and
Yeah.
it was kind of like her last gift she gave to me of just kind of giving me the green light that, hey, you should keep doing this thing. And
Yeah.
even after she passed, it ended up being a way to like work through that and also just like form community with other artists. But
So safe to say she kind of lit that fire.
she lit
up
that
under
fire.
you to get all this going.
And I would say, like I mentioned before, I paint a lot of black women. I'm always thinking of her in my work.
Yeah.
But also, I just feel like every piece that I work on and put out there is just a continuation of her giving me her blessing. So,
Yeah. Shout out to mom.
yes.
And so, what first inspired you to focus on African American culture in the first place, specifically in Appalachia through your art?
Just
Has it always been a passion, or like I know you mentioned that your mom was your main source of inspiration, but to grasp African American culture and just pushing that conversation that needs to be had, where did that start?
again, just always having so much love and respect for my elders and just seeing the importance they placed on our stories
Yeah.
and making sure that they did make it and last through the test of time.
Yeah.
And then also just if I'm an Affrilachia artist, if I want to show up authentically, of course myself and my identity are going to show up in the
Right.
work naturally.
Right.
So I feel that push in a sense of that's the only way I can truly express myself, but then also I want to combat the active erasure that does go on with Black culture here in West Virginia, and I'm sure
Yeah.
across Appalachia.
Yeah.
But I mean, there's just, if we don't say that we're here and we don't make our mark, it's very easy for it to look like we don't have much of an impact on the culture and history here.
Got you. Yeah. What are some common misconceptions about African American culture in rural areas like ours?
I would say that we're not here, which we absolutely are here, and we have been here, and we've always had an impact. I hear that all the
time. And when I go different places, people are like, "There's Black people in West Virginia."
Yes.
I'm like, "Yeah." And I think we had a conversation before where we talked about how there's like different pockets, and you mentioned a few places that I wouldn't even expect for there to be African American culture.
Absolutely, absolutely. I'm not going to say every, well, I don't know. Quite a few cities throughout West Virginia, they have their own separate artistic feel, if you'll notice. I think we talked before about like Princeton. They're really doing their thing with, I think it's called Mercer Street. They're doing their thing. It looks amazing down there. Beautiful murals.
Oh, I think I've seen that. I think I've seen that. Because I'm in and out of there every now and then for like work and stuff. I think I have laid eyes on some of those murals there.
Awesome. I mean, so many great artists out of Huntington and Charleston and Beckley. We're doing our thing too. We're making strides.
We're making our way. We're making our way slowly but surely.
Yeah, slowly but surely.
Yeah. So what's next for Miss Kabrea James?
I'm going to continue developing as an independent artist, as well as just taking Inner Sunshine Arts as far as we can take it. We've already got so much great support. I hope our support increases. I am currently working out of Raleigh County United for Prevention in East Beckley, so I'm hoping to continue that programming and hopefully expand that a little bit throughout the city, but for now, it's going amazing. Those kids are out of this world talented, and I just want to continue showcasing the true artistry that lives in our city.
Beautiful, beautiful. Well, Miss James, I appreciate you again taking the time to sit down and speak with me. I think these are more important conversations that we need to have and to keep having, and hopefully we can get more people involved, down the road as this thing evolves. And I'm just so proud of you. I'm glad to see that you're making an impact, and it's very important what you're doing. It's very commendable work. So once again, I appreciate you.
Yes, thank you for having me.
And I'm glad to be a part in your journey.
Yay.
So until next time.
Until next time.
All right.